It's Friday night, and that means we got another episode of SmackDown, this time taking place from London, England, in the United Kingdom. And not only that, tomorrow afternoon for us here in the States, we get a brand new pay-per-view and Money in the Bank, and WWE has set up quite a stacked card for this pay-per-view. So without further ado, let's get into the predictions for each and every single one of these matches. And the main event of this show, of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I don't think it's going to be the world title match or a Money in the Bank ladder match. To me, the main event of this show is a match that they are titling Bloodline Civil War, where the Usos face off against Solo Sikoa and the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. And frankly, with this match, I've been going back and forth on who might walk out with the win. Who should walk out with the win. What next step is going to be taken in this story? The biggest story WWE has presented to its audience in 15, 20, 25 years? And although the easy route will be to have Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa win, I think if you want to add more fuel to the fire, if you want to continue to build up towards a potential Universal Championship match at SummerSlam between Reigns and Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, then the Usos, rightfully so, they are one of the best tag teams in WWE history, should walk out with the win. And I already got a tag team match wrong. I got it wrong at, what's it called? No, it wasn't King of the Ring. Clash of Champions, Night of Champions at the very last pay-per-view. I predicted Reigns and Sikoa will be your new tag team champions. Obviously, that didn't happen because there was more turmoil in the bloodline. And now, I believe that Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, is going to walk out with the win, pinning his younger brother, Solo Sikoa, which will do two things. Number one, it will give main event Jey Uso credibility in terms of challenging for the Universal title against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, which is a match that frankly quite a lot of fans want to see. They've built Jey Uso up to that point. And number two, Reigns starts building up even more resentment towards Solo Sikoa for taking the pinfall, for losing, for quote-unquote failing his tribal chief in disciplining his brothers, the Usos, thus adding even more drama, even more story beats to the bloodline's demise in the upcoming weeks. Now, I don't know if this is going to end with main event Jey Uso becoming undisputed Universal Champion or not, but they've got to keep building upon this storyline, and the best way to do it is to have the Usos win, with main event Jey Uso getting the pin over Solo Sikoa. It might happen, it might not. Either way, my eyes are going to be glued to the screen, and I have a feeling I won't be the only one. So with that said, I got the Usos beating Reigns and Sikoa in that tag team match. Obviously, Reigns is not going to take the pinfall. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match. If you've followed me for a while, you know I've already made some rankings, some predictions on who's going to walk out with the briefcase on the men's side and on the women's side. They're still on this channel. Go ahead and check them out. You can find them right here on ACB Wrestling Talk. But with that said, as far as the men go, there's only 3 candidates, serious candidates, that can walk out with that briefcase and actually make it seem like a big deal. Number 1, Damian Priest. He's a guy who's been killing it on Monday Night Raw each and every single week, especially after his main event, quote unquote, against Bad Bunny at Backlash. He's had a tremendous world title match against Seth freaking Rollins, so Damian Priest is slowly proving that he can be a main eventer. And him having that briefcase adds a whole lot of tension to Monday nights for Seth freaking Rollins. Number 2, my favorite to win this match. I'm hoping he wins this match. I don't think he's going to win this match, unfortunately, because WWE has a trend of not giving fans exactly what they want at exactly the time they want it. They kind of like stretch it out a bit. But of course, I'm talking about my man, L.A. Knight. Yeah. He should definitely walk out as Mr. Money in the Bank. The fans want it. But will WWE give it to them? I don't think so. And unfortunately, for a lot of fans, I think this would still be a lot of headlines on mainstream media. I think it would help in terms of gaining even more viewers to WWE TV is if the quote-unquote megastar in Logan Paul walks out with the briefcase, which I think is exactly what's going to happen. Logan Paul, who didn't have to qualify for this match, Heat, does some crazy stuff in this match, which we know he can pull off. Heat, because as much as wrestling fans love high-flying moves, wrestling fans, especially the IWC, love acting as gatekeepers, so they don't like Logan Paul because he didn't work the indies or he hasn't been in this business for a long time. And number 3, he walks out with the briefcase, which guarantees him a championship match in the very near future at any time, any place, anywhere. So I would much rather, if it were up to me, I would give it to L.A. Knight, yeah. Or Damian Priest, of course, but I have a feeling Logan Paul is going to walk out with the briefcase as Mr. Money in the Bank, which hopefully leads to a fantastic matchup at SummerSlam against Ricochet, especially after that moment they had during the Royal Rumble match. We'll just have to wait and see, but Logan Paul walks out with the briefcase. We have Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. And I've been going back and forth with this result because I firmly believe Cody Rhodes has to win this match 99 times out of 100. He walks out with the win. The one time he might not walk out with the win is if the Beast, Brock Lesnar, makes an appearance, costs Cody Rhodes the match, sets up their third and final match at SummerSlam. But I don't think it's the best road possible to have Cody Rhodes lose en route to yet another match against Brock Lesnar. I feel like Cody Rhodes wins this match and then gets a post-match beatdown by Brock Lesnar. I think that's the best route to take en road to SummerSlam for Rhodes and Lesnar. And then on Monday Night Raw, in the following weeks, we find out what kind of stipulation they have going for the biggest party of the summer. We have the tag team match for the women's tag team titles. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan is back. They are back. Champions that never lost the titles. They had to vacate them. Yada, yada, yada. We know this story so very well. And Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, they just beat the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions to unify those titles. Not the best idea, in my opinion. Again, it's another issue of continuity. You have a brand split, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and yet you want to have champions travel between brands. And then I'm not going to get into it, but again, it's just not what I would have done. Obviously, I'm not in control, so here we go. Do I think Rousey and Shayna Baszler keep running through the competition? If they want to build up this fantastic heel run they're having, absolutely they do. But I have a feeling that Morgan and Raquel regain those tag team titles, keep this feud going, keep this rivalry going. Because at this point, these two tag teams currently at Money in the Bank are the only two, other than the former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, of course, Fire and Dawn, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. Other than them, these two are the only legitimate tag teams in the division, so they have to, quote-unquote, legitimize this feud by having Raquel and Liv Morgan regain the titles. So I have them winning the titles once again. Will it happen? I don't know. And if it does, Shayna Baszler gets the pin. Oh, takes the pin, actually. We have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You already saw my rankings. You already know what I'm going for. And for me, there's only two people, two superstars, and for all we know, Bayley might put on a match against Shotzi tonight in London, put her spot on the line, maybe lose it. Shotzi gets inserted into the match, which, Shotzi has, in my opinion, no chance of winning this Money in the Bank ladder match at all. So, number one, I'm just going to say Io Sky. Io Sky walks out with the briefcase. I think it's the best possible option going forward. And my dark horse to win this entire thing, I don't think she's going to actually walk out with the briefcase. But I feel like she could have a Seth Rollins kind of run with the briefcase, much like Seth did in 2014. Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark might be able to do that, but I want to. I want WWE to give that briefcase to Io Sky, build up that tension with Damage Control, and eventually leads to Io Sky becoming the women's champion we all know she deserves to be. We have the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Gunther, the ring general, defending his title against Matt Riddle in what is sure to be a heavy hitter of a match. But even heavy hitter, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you put up against Gunther. Doesn't matter who you put up to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. As long as it's not Lesnar or Reigns or a top superstar like a household name currently in WWE, Gunther walks out still champion. No questions asked. That's just how it is. That's just how it's been. And nobody's mad about it because it's Gunther. He retains his Intercontinental Championship. And finally, singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship in what is sure to be, this is guaranteed to be, match of the night, no doubt in my mind. Seth freaking Rollins against Finn Balor, 1-on-1 for the World Heavyweight Championship. We all know the history. SummerSlam 2016, Finn Balor actually beat Seth freaking Rollins in that match. Fortunately, he got injured, had to vacate the title. Since then, Finn Balor hasn't been able to win the big one. He's had quite a few chances, but he's always fallen short. And Seth freaking Rollins is over as hell with the crowd, singing his theme every single week, during every single time he's out there. Every single time Finn Balor's out there, they sing his theme. It's just that simple. So with that in mind, Rollins retains, and even though I don't think that hurts Finn Balor, I don't think it hurts at all. But Seth needs to keep that championship reign going, and my one big surprise for this Money in the Bank pay-per-view, we are in London, we are in UK, in the United Kingdom. We have Drew McIntyre make his return, and he doesn't do anything. He just comes out and confronts Seth frickin' Rollins. He doesn't turn on him. He doesn't do a heel move. He doesn't attack him from behind. Nothing. Just a confrontation. Drew, Seth, one-on-one, face-to-face, in the middle of that ring in London. And then, on Monday Night Raw, then we get the heel turn from the Scottish Warrior, which leads to their match for the world title at SummerSlam. But again, so much to unpack here for Money in the Bank. I am beyond ecstatic for what's about to happen tonight on SmackDown and tomorrow afternoon during Money in the Bank. Because if Puerto Rico, if SmackDown and Backlash in Puerto Rico were anything close to what we're going to have tonight and tomorrow afternoon with Money in the Bank and SmackDown, it's going to be a good time to be a wrestling fan, a good time to watch SmackDown, and a good time to watch Money in the Bank. But most importantly, what are your thoughts on this entire pay-per-view? Who walks out with the wins? Do we have a new world champion? Who walks out with the briefcases? Does anybody who wins the briefcase cashes in? WWE has this trend going on that even though we have two different Money in the Bank winners, one from the men's side, one from the women's side, they usually only have one continuing to carry that briefcase throughout weekly television. The other one cash it in so as to not become repetitive. I'm just putting it out there. So with that said, leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk. Happy Friday, and I'll see you next time.